Hello and welcome everyone to the Lunar Sea Spire Steven Universe fan podcast. This is episode 65, and today we're going to be talking about this week's second episode of the newest Steven Bomb number 4, which is named Steven's Birthday. My name is Ken, and joining me today, as is often the case, are...
I'm GC13.
And I'm a Hunter. Woo! Steven Bomb 2016. It's 2016, not 2015.
I really like this episode. I like this one better than the last one.
This was really good. I liked it a lot. That being said, I liked the previous one a lot as well.
Yeah, I think between the two, I still go for the answer, but this one kind of started off in territory where, I could find it uncomfortable, but once Steven turned into a baby, then it's like, oh, okay. Now I know where we're at.
Yep, this is one of those.
And then, of course, Amethyst, your neck, you have one. Is there more where that came from?
Amethyst was spot on in this episode. I freaking loved it.
Yeah, she was really good.
She was kind of doing a little bit of a Snoopy dance almost there with Pearl.
Oh, all of their dancing was spot on. It was excellent.
It was great.
But what was really interesting about the dancing wasn't Amethyst doing a half Snoopy. It was Pearl doing more of an Amethyst-looking dance. So I think we are all still hopeling for more opaling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Thought you just mispronounced that at first, but it was even worse than a mistake.
Yeah, it was an awful...
No, it was still a mistake. I actually saw someone else who was using like a hashtag Hopel for Opal.
Yep.
I love it. Also, the record that Greg pulls out and shows Garnet.
Stella, yes.
Stella, we see. We know you, Greg.
And Garnet's like, wait, I'm not ready to show that to Steven yet.
That's cute.
I felt very vindicated by this episode because we've had this discussion on this podcast, and it's like been a discussion that's gone on in the community since almost the beginning. How old is Steven? And people have always been saying he's clearly like 12 or 13 or something. I've always been like, no, look at him.
I always said 10.
I would have said 12.
I've always been like, look at him. He's like 8 or 9, maybe 10, I guess. And then here, he stops aging at like 8 years old, was it? So I feel like I was spot on.
You called it!
I mean, I was wrong, I guess. He's 13, 14. So.
I don't know, but judging off of his looks, definitely.
Yeah, we can't really hold that one against you if you stopped aging at 8. But, the Earth kept spinning around the sun. It's not your fault.
I will still say that his personality is identical to that of an 8-year-old. He does not act like a 14-year-old.
I think he acts like an exceptionally nice, sedate, 14-year-old. Because he's... Maybe early on he acted more like an 8 or a 10-year-old, but he's picking up a lot of maturity real quick.
Yes, true.
Just with none of the spite that comes with adolescence,
Something I noticed, and I might be wrong, but the line Steven delivers when he goes behind the barn to give himself a break, if I just keep this up for the rest of my life, no one will suspect a thing.
And then Amethyst and Greg right there.
That's been said somewhere. That's a quote from something.
That sounds like a very SpongeBob quote.
Steven Universe going full-on SpongeBob this week.
I mean, all he has to do is say that he needs to grow a beard and then shave it off, and it's perfect SpongeBob.
Well, he's growing a beard. We learned a bit from this episode. One, something that we had expected. The Gyms have no idea how to raise a child.
It makes sense.
Good old Greg pulling through. If I didn't have a reason to love Greg before, I do now. Greg, the MVP single father.
Yeah, totally blasting let me drive my van into your heart for us all.
Mm-hmm.
Just like being a good guy for us, He knows we like that song.
Golly, Greg is just the best, isn't he?
But what I'm really happy is the episode used Steven shape-shifting as a plot point. So we know that he's back to using gem shape-shifting this time. He did a little bit better rather than accidentally turning his finger into cats.
This time.
Yeah, he has very fine control over what he's doing. Now, he probably still hasn't learned how to do the complicated stuff, but just lengthening an arm and a leg, just fine.
Yeah, perfectly fine. And a neck!
That's where he hid the voice box. Yeah. Gotta get that deep baritone voice.
Yeah, that entire scene was really good.
Connie putting the major moves on Steven.
Oh, yeah.
Moving in for the kill. I was certain at that last scene when she's grabbing his cheek. I thought they were gonna kiss. I was so ready. I was so prepared. And she's like, what's that? No, come on. Forget about it. Going for the kill.
He's reverted to a zygote.
Seal the deal.
I think I've been a pretty consistent proponent that I don't want them to be like in a relationship. I didn't really want that to happen, but if anything's going to change my mind, then it's going to be this episode. That was super adorable.
Yeah,
All of
they
her
were
like
so
putting on
cute.
the moves. Oh.
They've both made it pretty clear, like him talking about being in a relationship with Connie.
What'll that make me? The first boy?
What was it, 22? Yeah, 22 years in the future when she's president of the United States.
And then Connie talking about she just wants to be with him,
Don't worry, Steven, I'll babysit for you.
talking about how she's glad that they get to grow up together, and that's the cutest. This is like love on the most base of levels. Seeing a real theme here, a real good theme that I think will play into Peridot's eventual betrayal.
Eventual betrayal?
Yes.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
And if I can make a prediction through the theme of this week, which I think love, Pearl will, betray the crystal gems, of course.
You mean Peridot, not Pearl.
Pearl, yeah. Pearl's been running the long con all this
is
time.
a renegade.
I think Peridot's gonna inevitably betray them, and then through the power of Steven being Steven, Peridot's gonna be like, "What have I done?" And then Peridot's gonna be like the keystone in driving back the gem forces. But that's just a theory.
A gem theory?
A gem theory! But anyway, super cute episode. And baby Steven's the best.
All of my favorite episodes of this show make me like pause out of, I guess, sheer emotion, and this one just had me going, so much that I had to pause it in like 3 different places. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Amethyst is the car seat.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until like she started talking. Like I didn't even.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking, oh man, it's so convenient that Greg still had a car seat in the van after all these years, and then you hear Amethyst's voice, and you're like, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah, and I'm looking back at it now. I'm like, man, I should have noticed that. It's got friggin' eyes and a mouth and a nose.
Yeah, the eyes. They're beautiful like that. They just. It was a good reveal.
I like it.
It's a very satisfying reveal when they have it in the open like that, and I figure most people who watched it probably didn't notice until she spoke.
Okay, I have a question. I don't know where Greg was taking Steven. I don't know quite what happened. All I know is they're driving in a car, and then it jumps to them waking up in a tent. What happened?
Greg was just driving him around, right? They weren't going to any place.
Yeah, he was just driving him around to keep calming down.
But then they wake up in a tent. Where'd this tent come from? Did they go camping?
They were probably going to be camping at the birthday place. They got to work on that drill.
Are they at the camping place?
Yeah, they're probably camping at the barn.
Are they at the barn?
Because remember, Steven was sleeping in the bed of the pickup truck at the barn. So hey, put up a tent.
So I guess they just they figured out we'll just wait till things get figured out, and they all went to bed, and then Steven just woke up this is better now.
I'm gonna put this shirt on, because it fits now.
I'd like to see that small little quiet moment where Steven wakes up and nobody else is up and he's back to normal. He's like, oh man, I had some learning. This was a growing experience for me, but
Ooh. You thought the hopeling for more opaling was bad. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Also, I liked the shirt better. I liked the pink shirt better when he was big.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to call attention to one little thing that I liked in this episode. You hit it, you get it. Get it.
One thing I liked about this episode was Greg's shirt. I want that shirt.
What was up with that shirt?
I don't know. It looks like whatever knockoff, whatever the YMCA is in their world, that's the logo they use. Where did they get Peridot balloons?
Well, Steven does like to draw faces on balloons.
That's true.
So, might have been him. Garnet blows out the candles, though. That was funny. My power means nothing to an infant.
Oh, that part was super cute. With Garnet in her eyes. Oh, Garnet.
I really like Garnet playing matchmaker kind of subtly. This goes out to Steven and his best friend and putting on a slow jam. She knew what she was doing.
She wants another fusion to hang out with. She knows Amethyst and Pearl are working on that opal, but
she's like the stereotypical Jewish grandma who wants grandkids. Or mom who wants grandkids. Just don't come back unless you have a fusion.
Okay, getting back to our Nega Chin episode of Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, I remember that. You're right. That did happen. Goodness.
Don't come back unless you bring me grandchildren.
Also, it's odd to me. Connie's only 12.
And 3/4.
And 3/4.
How old did you think she was?
I thought she was older than Steven.
She's the brains of this outfit, is what she is.
Yep.
You know, Steven's the charisma, she's the intelligence. And I guess they have Garnet to be the wisdom?
Yes.
They got a good power trio thing going on there.
I mean, there's also Pearl and Amethyst.
Amethyst will be the strength, Pearl can be the dexterity, and once we recruit Jasper, boom, Constitution.
Nice. Got a good Pathfinder build going on. Also, what happened to Steven's pictures for ages 4 through 7? Where did Steven go?
Well, we know where he came from, we just have to figure out where he went.
Also, Steven the baby is the cutest. Like he's cute in the
real way?
The real way, but he's also really, really cute in the picture at age 1.
So he had that crown and cape for the whole time, huh?
Mm-hmm. Also, I think all of those pictures were taken at the van.
He does live there, so...
I really like how Greg and Amethyst are like playing by the piano, playing
pinata behind the barn, and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And Amethyst is just like, Steven, take it from the person who shapeshifts all the time. This is not a good thing to do. And then Steven comes in with the weakest rationalization he can muster.
Yeah.
And then gets right back in there.
This does seem to suggest that he can't change his age at will, though. At least not permanently.
Yeah, that would be the implication. Because it's just too hard for him to feel a particular age.
Yeah, because it's been thrown around that he would be effectively immortal because he can't age if he can just effectively choose to be whatever age he wants at any given time. He's not going to choose to like remain an old man when he's 80, but it doesn't seem like he has a choice, at least in the long term.
There's been some cute comics about it.
Like the one where he grows old with Connie, and then when she dies, he reverts back to show age Steven.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing with Greg. I was just like visiting Greg's grave as a little boy. Oh, man, now I'm sad. Dead Greg.
Dead Greg makes everyone sad.
I'm waiting for when the show makes like a huge step and like one of the characters just kicks it. It's gonna have to be Greg.
Well, we know it cannot be Mayor Dewey because he is immortal.
Yep. I mean, like, the gems are immortal, but Mayor Dewey's like immortal. You know what I mean?
It should be Lars. I think that's pretty clear.
I'm with you there.
Friggin' Lars! Gosh diggity! God, I hate Lars. Also, I thought about it, and I think, like, when we're least expecting it, because we haven't been focusing on it for a while, like, for a good amount of episodes, I think just when we're not expecting it, like, when they're about to, like, when they're ready to go fight the cluster, I'll just be like, BAM! The name Meredith keeps coming into my head.
Mayor Dewey!
Mayor Dewey attacks from beneath the sea.
Oh,
Marty?
Malachite,
that's it. Meredith.
Oh.
Meredith is her name now.
Well, what do you mean it's been a lot of episodes? Too far, they covered it. You know, it was all about the cluster hunt. Basically, the answer and this are the only 2 diversions we've had so far, and in this, we showed that Peridot is continuing to work on the drill. Yeah. It's just the hiatus is warping your perception of time.
I think you're right. I think you may be right. I don't know, it feels like since Peridot got here, cause like they mentioned it, but like ever since Peridot got here, and like in the future, like I don't think they're gonna touch base with it in the episodes, during this Steven bomb. So I think that once like all this kind of settles down, or heck, during the middle of it, or at like the climax, then just Meredith shows up to ruin everyone's day. I know you just said it, and I can't remember its name now again. Malachite. That's it. I don't even watch this show. I'm a sham. I thought the defibrillator was cute.
Yeah, they would have a defibrillator, wouldn't they?
Oh, Maheshwarens.
Well, I mean, Dr. Maheshwaran is a gem. She's accumulated some stuff over the years.
Wait, Dr. Maheshwaran's a gem?
In the background of the answer, you can see a gem that has her haircut and her body shape.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So, that's the new headcanon. Dr. Maheshwaran's a gem.
I feel like we should mention Cartoon Network Today. Their YouTube channel has changed their banner to Steven's birthday week. And also, they've posted, like, all the songs they've ever done, like even the small ones, like the Little Butler theme song.
Ah, nice.
And the Big Fat Zucchini song. But one thing I noticed that they posted, let me see if I can find it.
It could have been great.
No. It was a song sung by Steven on his little ukulele that I hadn't seen before, and I've seen all the episodes, thank you very much.
It could have been great. It's from the beginning.
Is it? What?
Yes.
Yes, it's peace and love on planet Earth.
Does he want the cheese for breakfast?
It Could Have Been Great is an episode, when is that coming out?
Tomorrow,
okay. So they just gave us a little sneak peek in a song.
Probably accidentally, considering how lax they are with the time date or, date time sensitive stuff.
I really like this. This is Steven's F is for Friends.
Again, the amethyst pearl dancing with pearl dancing much more like amethyst this time.
Yep.
Or at least that didn't look like the refined kind of dancing Pearl would usually do.
Yeah, it was out of character.
That looked like her just more cutting loose, being like the Amethyst. Now all we need is a scene where Amethyst is doing more of a classy dance, and then we'll know.
Ballet.
Imminent Opal is what I want.
Mm-hmm. Be hopeful.
That's the most important takeaway from this episode, Imminent Opal. So tomorrow we will be talking about It Could Have Been Great.
Yeah.
Until then, I'm GC13.
If you see our profile on Tinder, like us, I'm Kim.
Wait, we got a profile on Tinder?
Absolutely not.
Always swipe right.
Now I gotta make it. I gotta make a profile. Okay, I'm making a profile for us on Tinder. If you see us on Tinder, swipe right.
Okay. Self-fulfilling prophecy, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm Hunter. Swipe right, please.
See ya.
Later, kiddos.
Our opening and closing music is by James Roach. For more Steven Universe fan-related content, please visit lunarseaspire.com. Thank you for listening.